Good morning. Happy reset day-ish. There was like 10-hour maintenance today. So, this vault we're doing, it's 2 in the morning where I'm at right now. It's 2:24 a.m. But we're gonna open our vaults because 9.2.5 came out. It was about a 10-hour maintenance? I don't remember the exact time, but essentially servers came up and then we jumped right into raiding, and then we didn't have much time, but my group decided to start rolling up our keys so we can start pushing this week. So with that being said, it is going to be a great push week. Bursting, storming, fortified, probably best fortified week on the calendar. So this is definitely a good week to get your IO upgrades for the season. Yeah, I now have 6 tanks to open. So a couple cool things. 9.2.5 has brought cross-faction rating, group finder. They're doing a discount on transfers right now. It's something that some of you might want to consider. If you're not in a serious guild, there are some very strong racials for alliance races as well as horde. Horde, you have your blood elf and your tauren, which the blood elf brings a purge, like a group purge essentially. And the druid, or not the druid, the tauren brings war stomp. So this cast right here, this is an AoE stun. Druids don't have stuns really in their toolkit, so it's good to have. But you also have night elves, which can be used to skip certain mechanics and fights and you know, avoid casts and stuff like that. Again, you have to be careful with threat. But you also then have dwarves, which can remove bleeds. Obviously not all races, like druids can't play dwarves, for example, but if you're considering it and you don't raid with a serious guild that requires you to be in it, definitely worth doing. They don't have cross-faction guilds at the moment, but hopefully that'll be in the future. I don't know if I'll be swapping, but at least on my druid, but some of my other tanks might be going dwarf, but stay tuned. All right, so let's open vault. So we're gonna actually start on the druid this week. I already raided. I probably sound exhausted. I've been up all day, so this is going to be a little bit more of a different vibe, I think, than the normal videos. Last week, I should have gotten at least three vault slots. We are going to spec. I don't even know what I need to spec. I have codex. I guess a good scale would be nice, and boots. So I think I'm going to actually stay. Jeez, I'm just trying to think. Maybe I go feral. Nah, we'll go guardian, I guess. Nah, feral. Does feral give me cash? Feral can give me cash. I might roll feral actually, guys. Once again, we're doing it for the feral druids. Don't let your memes be dreams, baby. Fingers crossed. And that's amazing. Awesome. There's no way I'm gonna turn down 285 shoulders. That's actually awesome. 285 gear, super cool. So just in case you weren't aware, if you do mythic raid or you're thinking about mythic raiding, you have to kill the specific boss that drops the loot in order to have it available in your loot table, but tier is different. As long as it rolls tier in that slot, it can be mythic quality, which means that I'm getting 285 shoulders despite the fact that I have not killed Lords of Dread or Rygalon. So easy pick here. That's a massive upgrade on the druid. Actually, I'm stoked. I was thinking today, like right when I logged in for it, I'm like, there's 285 shoulders in there. I know it. Here we are, 285 shoulders, accept. And we rolled a fucking sanguine. I didn't push it all last week. I'm actually really bummed about it. So we're sitting on 23s, unfortunately. So we're going to have a little bit of pushing to do. But we're going to throw these right on. What do these look like? Oh, look at those shoulders. They don't look any different than normal shoulders. All right. We're going to save that set. And we're going to get on our way. All right. We're 1 for 1. All right. Now we're going to do it as per usual. We are going to jump to the Blood Decay. Blood Decay I did 2 keys on, so I'm gonna only have 1 vault slot. So pretty boring vault. Hopefully we get something good. The last 2 weeks I've been pretty lucky, so I doubt I'm gonna get anything. So yeah, new arena came out, cross-faction instancing, and Lordaeron quests. There's some like cool RP stuff Blood Elves and Night Elves can now do, where you can become like a Dark Ranger or whatever. I'm not really interested in it, but I'll eventually get around to it. I'm sure of it, so we'll go Blood here. Codex would be awesome, or just like a trinket in general. And gonna get a Verse Mastery belt. We're gonna actually I just know I'm gonna take these. There's no way in hell I'm gonna take a belt. Yeah, there's no way. All right. Coins it is. We'll hang on to those coins for a bit. They'll either give us flux or... What else do they give us? Gold in the future or a socket? I need to start playing my Blood DK more. All right, we're going to jump over to the DH. DH, I got 8 keys done, so we have 3 slots. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some good loot. I've been saying this in the last couple episodes. Big fan of the DH so far. As you can see, I haven't logged into these characters at all. The vault is so boring. We're going to make sure we're in Vengeance. We're going to yeet these open. I'm doing this kind of quick. I know, but I don't really know what I really need. I need like a codex or scale. I just need better trinkets, to be honest. Everything else is decent. Shoulders would be nice. That would pretty much be it, though. I have a couple of options. Of course, I get Shadowgrass Totem, Crit Mastery, Haste Mastery, or I go Socket. Do I take Shadow Grasp? This is actually really good. For those who don't know, Shadowgrass Totem is actually kind of cracked. So if we come here, and we go Sub-Creation, it's not great for tanks, of course, because you want defensive trinkets. But if we come to trinkets here, there isn't going to be any. But if we go to Havoc, which I'm not a DPS main, I don't pretend to be. But if you come to Havoc DH, which is a pretty good option for keys, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you'll actually see a Shadowgrass Totem being ran here at the 27 mark, 10%. And then there's another really cool site called Blood Mallet. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but Blood Mallet actually has sims for this stuff as well. At like a base, like the profile they use for this is like super weird. But if you look here for trinkets, Shadowgrass was actually one of the highest trinkets at here. Right behind actually File and Cash. Cash is actually bugged right now, believe it or not. Currently, it's not rotating weapons while in combat. And actually, if your buff wears out, it doesn't rotate to a new weapon. It just like expires and you can't use it. And the trinket just says invalid target. I just ran a key on my Brewmaster, a 20 streets, and I literally ran the trinket and I couldn't use it. So Shadowgrass is actually really good. So I'm thinking I could take this, like, unironically. The other option is I get to put a socket in my helm. I don't think I would put it anywhere else, or my neck. Oh, I don't know what to do. That's tough. I wouldn't use this as a tank. I really wouldn't. I don't even know. Let me know what you guys would do here, but I think I'm actually going to go the tokens. I don't plan on playing Havoc that often. I have File. And I can actually turn this into a socket right now for like this super solid gear. So I'll take this, and I think I go necklace because the necklace is just a better item. It has avoidance on it. And then we can come to Guild Bank, which is super stocked. Grab a verse gem out of there and throw that in here. So pretty decent upgrade. Like, sockets are still good. Sockets are always great to have. No item level upgrade, but without a scale or something, I'm not gonna probably see an item level upgrade for a while. Cool. All right, the Brewmaster. I think I ran 4 keys and I killed 2 mythic grade bosses on my Brewmaster last week. So I have 3 vault options, 6. That means 6 coins if needed. A codex would be great. I don't even know. Like, a good neck would be great. This neck is actually super good. If you guys haven't tried it as a Brewmaster, if you are a Brewmaster, the taking damage is a chance to infuse with cosmic energy and healing. Let me look. It's not like crazy, but I think it's worth the few item levels you sacrifice. So like if I come here, it's like a 2% healing increase, which then like obviously will scale with Celestial Fortune, not by a lot, but like that's decent. It also overhealed by 10%. I know that sounds like a very small amount, but 2% healing, I don't know. I also have avoidance on the neck, to be honest, so that's really good as well. So let's see. We'll just double check that we're Brewmaster, and we'll go. And of course, I get like the most stupid gear in the world. Holy shit, man. These vaults are kind of dumb. I don't need belt. And the reason I don't need belt is because belt is my Storm Stout, and Storm Stout would then move to shoulder, which means that I would have to move a crit verse, best in slot slots, avoidance tertiary, I'd have to replace it with a legendary, which means that I'd have to stay with the tier hands, which is what I'm trying to get rid of, which is haste mastery, which is just not, hit mastery is just such a shit stat. So coins in it. This is a boring vault set. I hope you guys have better luck than I'm having, but I'm not going to complain about sockets either. If you guys remember last week, if you watched the video, I now have 9 sockets, which means I can actually come over here and I can socket either my helm, which I probably won't do because it is crit mastery and it's not 278, or I can socket my bracers, which aren't max, but I got a ring. I got a ritual commander's ring somewhere. Here it is. I can now put a socket in it, which is super cool. And then I can throw a gem in it and then it'll replace my 272. So a technical upgrade. I don't even know what you would call this, but it's a 6 item level upgrade direct. So let's see. I need tenets. I'm assuming crit. I think I would go crit here. We go crit, and I'm actually going to throw a crit gem in as well, just because I have pretty much free access to my guild bank. Thank you, guild leader. I appreciate you a lot. That'll knock our crit up to 35%, 26 first. We are looking real healthy, and I'm going to save this sets. All right, cool. We're looking real good. Big fan of the Cache of Acquired Treasures. This has been a trinket that some brewmasters have been running lately. So if I go to M+ sub creation here, we can see that brewmasters are actually, let's go trinkets. You'll see cache being ran as a DPS option for brewmasters. And I feel like there's been other weeks where they've been being used a lot more, because I thought I was looking and it was way more than that. Maybe not. It's a really good DPS option though. For example, I was hitting some training dummies. Look at how much damage this trinket does. Like, that's nutty. You can, whenever you have cash up with the vicious wound, you can actually sustain like a ridiculous amount of damage. It's really good for tanks who aren't pushing at the very high end. That's why you see a lot of these other trinkets being used, right? So if we come back here, you're seeing the codexes, or the codex in the shard and the scale, because, and even actually reactive defense matrix, you're seeing these being ran because they offer defensive value. But if you're going for like raw damage, the cache is just like stupid good. Every 3 minutes you have like this really good burst, because you're always critting all the time with Rushing Jade Wind. Obviously your keg smashes. Brewmasters have such high crit. If you ever run into these, I recommend holding on to it. I got one from Mythic Raid last week, so. All right, we are going to swap to one of our last tanks. I felt so bad. Last week, I like neglected my Paladin so hard. I wanted to play it, but I was doing a lot of my 0 to hero keystone like challenges. I was trying to get my warrior underway, trying to push IO on that. And I got to Monday, and I was like, fuck. So I did one key. I did like a 15 or something. And yeah, that was it. So we are looking for a scale or a codex to replace some of our older trinkets. Decent ring, maybe like a Stitch Flesh ring would be cool. For the most part, most of my gear's like 278. Better bracers maybe. Like there's a few options, but it doesn't warrant me swapping specs yet, because I still need those trinkets. So we have one slot to one opportunity, and we get a crit haste neck. Fuck, man. These vaults are trash. Is that good for Ret? No. We're going to go coins again. Luckily, I already have 2 coins. This is going to give me 2 more. This is why you fill your vault up. Easy way to fill your vault. Queue for LFR. Just queue for LFR earlier in the week. Get a couple of bosses done. Obviously, if you're on a raid team and you're killing bosses, that's fine. But if you fill up, even if you do 2 wings of Raid Finder, you have, your slots. And even if you only get 1 key done during the week, at least you have 6 coins as an option. Compared to me literally just literally dungeon logging. I do 1 dungeon to log off. So that's on me. I can't do anything with this. I don't think I would, because I don't need to socket my belt, my neck, or my helm. My ring is socketed already, and my bracers I could socket, but I'm probably going to wait till the 278 comes around. So I just, unfortunately, my Paladin's been kind of on the back burner. Not going to lie. That's okay. Yeah, we'll have to jump into another key this week and blast. All right, last but not least, we have the warrior. Now this is going to be massive spoilers. I don't know if this is actually worth doing when it comes to like that. I got a good bit of pushing done on my warrior last week. I ended up getting to 1400 IO. I got every key slot in. I got a couple of 12s done even. And my item level is... Do I tell you guys? I think I do. 247. I have a new episode coming out. I'm hoping tomorrow. I'm hoping I can sit down and grind it out. If not, it's a bigger episode, so it's taking like a ton of time. But yeah, so what I got from the vault is I was able to load up on, of course, a bunch of keys, and then I got a full raid finder clear. So I'm gonna have 6 vault options. Honestly, anything will do. Probably gonna lean towards the 265 gear that I get from the vault, but we're gonna have to see. Let's just jump into this. Okay. Didn't I get these last week? Oh. I got a thought cage again. That sucks. Rift Shard, trash. Both of these trinkets are really bad. If you ever see them on any of your tanks, don't take them. They're trash. Legs, 239, can't be upgraded. Crit haste, bad stats. None of this is going to be usable. Necklace, we can't reroll it with Flux. Crit mastery, not great. We also have one equipped at a little lower item level, but again, crit mastery, bad stats, we want haste first. Boots, haste heavy, or mastery heavy, haste light. I already used boots as my legendary, not worth taking. Cloak of enveloping manifestations. Good news is, it replaces my 226. Bad news, crit mastery, we want haste first. Literally, opposite stats. These are trash. These are absolutely trash, which is a little frustrating. So here's what we're gonna do. Some of you probably won't be very happy with me, but I'm not going to tell you what I picked because I want you guys to see it in the Zero to Hero Challenge series that I've been doing. If you missed those, go back and watch the last 2 episodes. New one's coming out in the next day or 2, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. So what I quickly want to do is I want to talk about a few things that have been going on in the game in the last couple days or so. I don't want to go over bolstering, not bolstering, what am I talking about? I don't really want to go over bursting too much. Easy affix, storming, also fairly easy affix, a little annoying. But I want to talk about a few things that are going on in 925. So 925 dropped today. That's why this video is going to be pretty late. That's also why I'm doing this at 2 in the morning instead of at 11 a.m. The day, before. So a few things that are going on right now. Right now, Pandemic is bugged, and so are some hot and dot reapps of certain abilities. So Rested Druids have noticed this. Most dot classes have noticed this. Boomkins. Warlocks, I think, are the only ones who are unaffected currently. There's also a few bugs with the in-game pugging system with Cross Realm. Currently, you can't Cross Realm Mythic pug right now, or at least queue yourself. Let's actually try that really quick. So if we come into raids, hit start group, supposedly Sanctum, it's not letting you pug for that. You're supposed to be able to currently, so that's bugged. And then Cash, once you're in combat, it's not letting you... once the weapon swaps, it cancels. And I don't know if there's any other bugs, but as of right now, that's all that I know so far. If you have any DPS in your keys, I recommend, if they're using Cash, to swap off of it to another trinket option, whether that's going to be like a file or a Shadowgrass Totem or whatever it might be. I want to see if it works on training dummies. So if I come into combat here, we can see that I have 2 seconds left on my bleed, 1 second left, 0. And it does go to nuke. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up... Actually, no, I don't even have to do that. We're going to do it live. We'll come into here. Unless they fixed it, then it's going to be really fucking funny. We'll come here. This is the key we just did. But if you look at... You can see here, this is my cache tracker. So right now it's going to be a bleed, then it's going to turn to a nuke, and then the next one's going to be haste. If we go a little later into the dungeon, I'm going to see if I can actually get this to work properly. All right, so there's 10 seconds left on my tracker. It's once this hits 0, a little thing should pop up, but it doesn't. And I don't have a single buff for my trinket. And what's going to happen is when I try to use the trinket, it's my tab button. It's going to just say invalid target. I don't know if I try using it here, and I don't remember exactly where in the dungeon I tried to use it. I would have naturally used it here, but because I wasn't looking at this, I didn't see any buff. So it's bugged. It doesn't work. It's not working in instance content. In raid tonight, our rogues and our demon hunters were complaining about it. In the key, I just obviously ran. It wasn't working. We timed this key, by the way, so we actually blasted it. We had a lot of deaths, but we blasted it. Yeah. So this is a very, very easy week with this bursting mechanic. There isn't anything you really need to be careful of. Immunities are great for bursting. It can be dispelled. DRs work with the scaling of it. But if you can get us, priests are kind of meta right now. So if you run with a holy priest, they can mass dispel bursting every 45 seconds, which is pretty much every pull in hierarchies. Storming is a little bit more obnoxious, but there is a range meta going on right now, and the storming damage isn't a big deal. The only thing that you'd be careful with storming is that it could put you into an awkward spot when it comes to like different kind of soaks. For example, in the mail room, let's see if I can pull this up really quick. In the mail room of Streets of Wonder, if you're group soaking the money order and you get knocked into the air and you're in the air as the money order lands, it won't count you as in it, and it won't split the damage onto you. It only does it onto the 4 people in the circle. So yeah, be careful of that, because in a higher key, it is fortified, but in a very high key, like I would say maybe 26 or maybe higher, this could one-shot you. I'm not sure how many of my viewers actually do that high of key, but I'm just gonna say it. If you're doing a very high key, be careful of storming. And it goes for a lot of different mechanics, whether it's frontals, whether it's group soaks, whether it's whatever it might be. You're trying to line of sight something, it might knock you like up and over and put you in a bad position. Very, very good push week. One last thing they did buff though, in this dungeon in particular, is the boss's containment cell. This now scales with the key level. It used to not. That's why a lot of groups would just like blow it up. It would have like 30k health. This is now buffed, and the mini boss, this Rift Blast, is now going to scale with key level as well. So be very, very careful of that. That is the kind of big dungeon changes that ended up happening. Oh, and then one last thing. This is really cool. I don't know if I'm going to I don't know if Raider IO is going to be updated or not for it, but they have changed the way that the rank 1 season cutoff is going to work. So if you look here, they now, old school, maybe we can start playing old school RuneScape. They are now going to, for Alliance, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but it's actually, this is the season 1 title cutoff now instead of being either or. If you are 3,500 or higher, you are currently in the mythic percentile to achieve your rank 1 title for season. This is going to go up in the next couple weeks too, especially because push week is this week. What's also really cool is it shows you like the other ratings. So if you're a Keystone Hero player, 3,000 rating, you're in the top 5% of all players. Congratulations. And they're also going to show like other things as well out of all players. And then of course, this is going to depend on your region. So for example, Europe, you guys are way better at the game. There's also a lot more of you. 3,500 is gonna, or 3,547 right now is the season cutoff. So just a couple things to keep in mind as you come into this next week. Good luck in your vaults. Hopefully the European launch of 9.2.5 is a lot smoother than the NA version, but we'll see. I have a ton of cool content coming out this week. I'm hoping to get it out in the next couple days. Stay tuned for that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.